Hello collective, welcome back to another video. It has been quite a while, I must say. I was completely humbled during Q2, like to the point where I was having content prepared for everyone. You know, the syllabus was set at the start of 2025, really the end of 2024, for what I would be posting every week for every element and every quarter. And I was humbled. I was humbled, ironically, to the point where I was pulled in Q2 to focus on my actual real life Earth experience, the Matrix experience, and my mission work was pulled to the ground level. I was taken away from social media. There wasn't a motivation to post, motivation to record. It was like the focus was right here, right now in the present. I want to do a Q2 recap so we can kind of go back to where we were before and kind of go over some of those points, those key points of the Earth element, and then we're going to talk about your air energy toolkit. So if you're new here, my name's Yasmin. I'm a psychic medium, a channeler. I've been doing this for the last 5-6 years almost. I've always been gifted since I was a kid, and actually both my parents are gifted as well. This is something that really resonates with me. I did 10 plus years in healthcare. I've been in the health industry, working as a nurse assistant, doing different things within the health industry since I was in high school in Texas. And, you know, there's a saying, and I say this all the time, so if you've met me at my day job or you've met me out and about, you know, you make a plan in life, you guys, and God laughs. The universe laughs because your soul could have another plan. Now my perspective has completely changed. Knowledge that I've learned in college in DC, my 10 plus years in healthcare, and through this spiritual work, and helping kind of bring it more practical aspects for your sacred journey. Because, you know, the things that seem woo-woo are actually just described in a different way than maybe what you were taught, right? One of those things being that we're all intuitive, and that's why they tell you to trust your gut, because your gut, your stomach, in science is actually known as your second brain. We all have the pineal gland. There's a lot of scientific aspects that may sound woo-woo to you if you're not particularly used to it. The spiritual awakening could be deemed as sort of like that midlife, quarter life crisis. You know, you have to live your life, you guys. And so I think there can be a healthy balance. And this is what I'm really excited to talk about today, because Q3 is all about the element of air. And one of the air signs is Libra, which is the element, or rather the sign of balance. So let's do a quick recap on the Earth energy so we can kind of catch up on where we once were. Earth energy and the Earth element is all about grounding, stability, and nourishment. If you guys haven't seen any of the previous videos in Q2, I definitely recommend taking things that are more logical and more emotional and bridging them together to make things make sense, to make things more practical, more stable, more grounded. Practicing consistency, patience, and care, really taking heed and connection with the root chakra, understanding that the Earth element really is representative of the root chakra. We talked about aligning with nature's rhythms, setting intentions, manifesting during new or full moons, paying attention to seasonal changes, and mimicking those in your own life, such as planting ideas in the spring and harvesting those efforts in the fall. Essentially, the Earth element is about how you feel rooted in your life. It is about where you see your material kind of existence and how you want to contribute to that. Prioritizing your stability, your sense of grounding, and contributing to different sort of more practical exercises in your everyday life, such as meditation, such as actually physically grounding to connect with that energy. We also talked about Mother Gaia, what that means in history. Earth is Mother Gaia, right? And that symbolism of what that means in different traditions versus in the general larger aspect of creation. Got my notes here, so you guys are going to see me looking up and down, not memorized, we're learning together. But the element of air is very fascinating because it is the element of breath, of communication, of flow. It's invisible, yet essential. It's everywhere, yet untouchable. Air energy connects every living thing through the simple act of breath. So while earth grounds and fire transforms, these two elements that we've discussed in Q1 and Q2, water heals, and that's something that's going to come up in Q4. Air actually elevates. Air elevates. The direction for air is east. Think sunrise, think new beginnings, okay? The season is spring, fresh starts and awakening. The chakra is the heart chakra, surprisingly. The heart chakra. I don't know why I thought it would be crown. That is coming through for me right now, so maybe take that as you will. But it is about connection, and expansion. The astrological signs for air are Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and the qualities for air are light, swift, dry, mobile, of course, movement, intelligent, and curious. Air rules the mind, like we discussed. So this is going to be the perfect time for you guys if you want to connect with the air energy. Of course, we are in the age of Aquarius, which is an air sign as well. You want to write, journal, poetry, scripting, blogging. You could learn, study a new subject, language, or skill. Speak, podcast, public speaking, voice work. Actually communicating your needs is what directly aligns with the air energy. And this is perfect because even though we are in Leo season right now, one of the best things is to take action in your life. Think air energy, movement. And one of those things is speaking out, communication, really allowing yourself to obviously flow organically with your daily life and in the present moment as much as you can. Obviously, air energy keeps you in your mind, so you might be thinking a lot as well. But in Leo season, taking advantage of that energy and recognizing that power, recognizing how your ability to speak and communicate, even teach, is going to excel you. Harness prana, or the life force, through breath work, which is actually an ancient practice. Practice conscious breathing, pranayama, or box breathing. I'm not sure what box breathing is, but this is just what came up in my research. You can basically inhale ideas and exhale resistance. Visualize your breath clearing mental fog or bringing divine downloads. Some air magic and ritual work. Use feathers, incense, smoke, bells, or singing bowls to represent and harness that air energy. Wind rituals. You can write intentions or questions on paper like to talk about and release them in the wind. Of course, I always say this, your words are spells. That's why they call it spelling people. So incantations and affirmations are really, really important when it comes to the air element, because when you are speaking, you're pushing that into the air, right? You're sending that out. Air is linked to the swords tarot cards. So therefore, tools like pendulums, oracles that move through space can be beneficial. Remember that the sword tarot card is related to truth, mind, conflict, and clarity. Practice outdoor breath work. So coexisting with our grounding exercises out here with the earth element, you can practice breath work, practice connecting with the air energy, the air element, while you're practicing grounding, while you're connecting with the earth element. So those two definitely go hand in hand. You can use feather smudging. I've never heard of this before, but feather smudging for energy clearing. Obviously, dressing in flowy, airy clothing, embodying the material things that represent air, that represent flow. Wearing light perfumes or essential oils like lavender, mint, or eucalyptus can be helpful. So these are some of the things that I want you guys to keep in mind. Some characteristics for the air element. It really is about taking something and allowing it to unfold. So really, when the seasons change, I don't know, my guides are showing me an image of a flower blooming open in the springtime, and we did say that the spring is the season connected to the element of air. So they're showing me kind of these flowers blooming open. I want you guys to think about that. I want you guys to think about how when the season changes, when time comes, when life continues to move on for you every single day, what is going on? You are being guided to be present, to maybe go with the flow, to put your ideas into manifestation, into movement, and hone in on what you're trying to create. So this is just a very brief overview. We are going to go a little bit more in depth in the next two videos about the age of Aquarius. I'll provide a channeling for you guys, and of course the air element in ancient traditions, going over the presence of air in different kind of cultures. I thank you guys all so much. If you want to book a reading, I did add an extra day of services, so I'm now doing readings on Tuesdays and Wednesdays instead of on Mondays. So if you'd like to book a reading, please feel free to do that. I'm a really accurate reader, and I don't use tarot cards, you guys. You will be shocked at what comes through. I will pick up things that you've been thinking about over the last few days, and that's one of the biggest confirmations for you to, you know, validate me as a reader. And if you want to see my reviews, you can go on my website. The link will be below. I send you guys all so much love and light, and until next time, go and grow.